Hey, it's a Tuesday. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of SEScoops.com, Studio1Sports.com, and Podcast Heat Wrestling. I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, WWE Creative _ish on X. Robert, is that a tennis ball? Is that a stress ball? What's going on there?
It's a little squishy stress ball thing that was sitting here, and I'm making excellent use of it because at some point during this episode, you're going to ask me to make sense of Monday Night Raw.
I am going to try to ask you to make sense of Monday Night Raw.
I feel like I'm going to need this. What happened to all the nonsense behind you? Is there like one man standing left? There's like one dude with his arms raised. I can't even see what's going on there.
Is the late, great Kevin Green, starting lineup figure.
All right. Mean Kevin Green. Not in his Carolina Panthers gear.
No, he was a Steeler originally too, and then he was a Jets coach. Believe it or not.
So. I believe it. I don't know why I wouldn't. You say that as if that was like surprising. Let's say hi to the folks joining us in the chat. I was so stressed about getting this link posted on X now. This is a new world of terror. It should be up. It looks like it's going. We're good. I had to type a thing in there. I didn't even know. I literally typed Ronda Rousey's back. Had no idea Ronda Rousey was back. So I'm hoping this wasn't a rib on your part because I just said this to the X verse. But we'll say hi to the folks joining us here today. Cammy Star says after morning guys. Throwing us a was up. Willie Thornbrew says I love Natty's new presentation. I wish they'd give her some wins to go with it. Yeah, we're that's why I have the stress ball. Dre Owen says, hello, R&I. The question everyone wants to know, what's in the box? Hashtag 7. You seen the movie 7?
Oh yes.
We're not gonna spoil that. What was I listening to? I was listening to some podcast. It was one of the Ringer podcasts.
Oh, like
one of their movie ones. And they were talking about this movie, Surratt. And they were like, we're going to interview the director later in the show, but we're going to talk about it briefly. And then they just blurt out, without any warning, a pretty significant spoiler of this movie. So good news, I don't have to see that movie now.
Is that like based off Marat Saad or something like that? Do you know?
No, it's about rave culture in Morocco.
Oh, interesting.
Nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for Best Foreign Film, so Best International Film. Wrestling Old Head says, good after morning to you all. Raw is what's in the box. A lot of box talk, I feel like, is going to dominate for the next little while. Michael Watson says, Ronda returns, the deep sleep that I'm missing. And then Caspian07 asks, does Robert have a cat?
No, he does not have a cat.
There is nothing about me that gives off cat vibes. Dom has a cat. He has Razor. I have a dog. Marty's in the other room right now. He's chilling. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to experience my trauma of talking about Monday Night Raw.
Lou B does ask, is Chris Jericho in the crate? Will he be debuting in Chicago again? Not the Horizon again, but still.
That's got to be the point of this box. I don't understand it, but I get the cornet of it all. If someone comes out of a box, they're over.
Over, man. Look,
man, you turned into like a King of the Hill character at the end of that.
I'm okay with those kind of cheesy gimmicks once in a while, as long as it kind of pays off. Unlike the egg did, I'm all right with it.
Well, this is the good thing, Dom. Whenever there's a surprise in wrestling fans tend to be measured. They tend to be calm. They don't get their hopes up. Mm-hmm. They're never disappointed, and that's why we love wrestling fans.
Oh, 100%. Well, let's talk about wrestling adjacent news going on. Yes, Ronda Rousey is returning to MMA. It was announced today that she will be taking on Gina Carano in the Octagon. So Ronda Rousey even made the announcement on X, has been waiting so long to announce this. Me and Gina Carano are going to throw it down in the biggest super fight in women's combat sports history. And we're partnering with the Fighter First promotion, Most Via Promotions, as well as the baddest streamer on the planet, Netflix. This is for all MMA fans, past, present, and future. More to come, much more. They posted a little trailer for her too. Robert, obviously, Ronda has her ties to WWE. WWE also has their ties to Netflix. But WWE has their ties to TKO and UFC. This is MMA. This is not connected to Dana White or anything. Will we see any kind of crossover here? And what do you think about Ronda Rousey returning too?
So there's going to have to be crossover in the sense of there will probably be ads all over Netflix. You sign into Netflix, there it is, right there.
Mhm.
What they'll have ads embedded in Monday Night Raw. It'll be interesting to see. I think there's a conversation. The fact that TKO, the overlords of the WWE, also own UFC, and they've gone to painstaking lengths to say that this is not UFC. UFC is exclusive to Paramount, and that they have nothing to do with this. Ronda and Gina Carano is a dream match of a different era
Mhm.
that I don't quite know why this is happening. It's kind of like the Vitaly Klitschko Lennox Lewis match that happens in Ocean's 11,
Oh,
where that's where we finally get it. It's super strange. Um, they're obviously it's not going to be a great fight. It's gonna be one of these weird attraction things like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. You're gonna watch this out of a curiosity. No one's watching this. They think it's gonna be a stellar back and forth match. Gina Carano has her own series of controversies and issues. So there's a lot of baggage going on there. Ronda, it's not like you can just get back into the octagon.
sure. Yes.
So this is gonna be a car crash. It's going to be a spectacle. This is a great payday for both of them. I'm happy for those folks to go and get that cash grab. It'll be a morbid curiosity more than anything else.
I was texting with the buddy after, this got announced, and I said it can't be worse than Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Like, so my expectations aren't super high on it, but higher than that, I would say.
I yeah, I'm so floored. Again, I didn't know this, so this is sort of a live reaction. Since been I literally pulled up the email and I was just like, the fact that here's the thing, because the fact that it's on Netflix
Mhm.
already means that it is not a pay-per-view grab. This isn't a pay 64.95 and you're going to get a chance to have a nostalgia show. You already subscribe to Netflix. Everybody already subscribes to Netflix. It's not going to make someone get Netflix who doesn't have it. It's not going to make someone drop Netflix in protest. So Netflix is going to pony up some money for this. Why?
I mean, they're two names, and yeah, they're both polarizing names nonetheless, and they're both famous names in the MMA women's world, especially. So I do see it making sense in that regard, and kind of getting some eyes on a platform that you want to kind of promote in this new realm of
But
Jake Paul's
I
promotion
think
and all
this is
that.
where my issue is. You're promoting this match,
Hmm.
this MMA fight. Netflix is not in the MMA business, so it's not like by watching this, they're now going to be launching a new MMA league, or there's going to be a series of MMA matches going forward. It's just sort of a one-off novelty, like that dude who climbed a building. Are you kind of
Well,
following what I'm saying? Like you're
I get what you're
investing all this
saying, but
time and energy. The boxing stuff was because, well, Jake Paul is doing the boxing and Logan Paul is doing the boxing, and we're going to have these weird spectacles, so let's go ahead and do it. To do one-off MMA shows, the amount of money that you need to spend, the amount of production costs, you got to go get commentators, you got to go build a whole program around this. If someone's an MMA fan, they're going to go over to Paramount, they're going to go watch the UFC matches. Other MMA promotions across the board historically have not drawn huge numbers. That was
well,
sorry.
no, let's look at it. Well, so Jake Paul is in promotion of this all too, so it does tie into that. You're still propagating that brand in a lot of
Right,
ways.
you're getting the circus atmosphere of it, but
Yeah,
there's a little bit more of an appetite for boxing out of time, like George Foreman when he was older and still won a heavyweight title.
yeah,
MMA is a different sport, and some of those fighters when they've stepped back in years later, it ain't great.
that is
And
true.
like Chuck Liddell when he came back and fought Tito Ortiz when he came back and fought, you're seeing a severely diminished version of what they were in the past.
Mhm. Well, I will say though, like from just a name and cachet standpoint, and just kind of getting UFC has been lacking that immensely over the past how many years.
Well,
So
that's MMA. So
yes.
part of the issue. So before I worked at WWE, I was at Showtime Network in their boxing department. Actually, did a Tyson fight while I was there.
Mm,
And part of when I went for my interview with them, it was back in '04. I said part of the issue with boxing and ultimately with MMA is you can't build stars anymore because they don't fight fairly regularly. The audience is not sophisticated enough to understand wins and losses. They want undefeated or nothing.
mhm,
And you can't build up the stars that you want to build up. Whereas in professional wrestling, you can take a guy who has a great look, who has a tremendous physique, who can do the in-ring performance that they need, has that underlying charisma, and then build them into a star. So when with that being said, the last 25 years of top UFC names, it's been a fluke like a Conor McGregor who just had sort of an outsized charisma, a Ronda Rousey, or a Gina Carano,
mhm.
who was able to sort of capture the imagination elsewhere, or an outsider like a Brock Lesnar.
Right.
I mean, everybody watched that CM Punk UFC fight,
Yeah.
and all due respect to Mickey Gall, who's a really nice guy, most people wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. It's no, and it's a lot of trial and error and crash TV kind of stuff going on. This is actually, kind of in that realm. So we'll see how it all pans out. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. So
MMA is more of a gimmick than wrestling.
yeah.
Because the nice thing about wrestling is if a guy doesn't have it, if
Mhm.
he's not good on the mic, if he's not overly charismatic, if he's a total waste of space, you open Raw with him in a 6-man tag.
That's not nice to say about Austin Theory.
I didn't even actually that fits for him too. Um, Austin Theory stinks, but that wasn't who I was talking about.
The pressure, Robert. The pressure
Dude,
is
yeah, the pressure is that this guy has this is his last shot, or else they can just replace him with the guy that they honestly should just replace him with, which is Grayson Waller.
yes. I hate to say that because I think there is some value in Austin Theory, but what you're positioning him in this role where he's just fodder, and he sure you give him an opportunity on the mic. This is not the bill to fit him in. I just don't think he's properly cast in this role. So
He's very much just a guy, and
mhm.
the shaved head, the scarf. Now he's wrestling in pants all of a sudden this week for the first time.
Mm.
They gotta figure out what they're doing with this guy because he's dragging down the rest of this presentation.
Yeah, it's a sad thing to kind of accept, but it's true. I mean, it is. It's like you look at Bronson Reed and you look at Logan Paul and what they're and when Braun's there, obviously too. But it's just like, oh, who's that other guy? That's what it feels like.
He's the Danny Garcia of this group.
Yes.
And Theory's the guy who has the look. Like he is the dude where you're like, oh yeah, I can see where this guy may be a big star. It's been how many years of Austin Theory on the main roster, and we just haven't seen the thing from him. They put him in there he beat Cena, and it
Yeah.
didn't go anywhere with it. This is now his second stable that he's been in that's involved Seth Rollins.
Right. Right. Well, yes, the match did open as a triple tag match there, Robert. It was the Usos teaming up with your boy LA Knight against the Vision. Uh, the Vision
Get my
gets
stress ball. Stress ball's here. This is for the LA Knight portion. I was already prepped. I was ready to go.
I'm sure you were wooed by LA Knight's promo there, and him very much channeling The Rock, mimicking his opponent's voice. I'm sure you like that as well.
LA Knight stinks. All right. I he wants the opportunity. He's
Mhm.
super vocal about wanting the opportunity. He's wearing the unchosen shirt because he
Yes.
wants to be the hero of the underground. He wants to be the guy that the audience is he's undeniable. The crowd desperately wants him. That was Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
And for a while, that was Zack Ryder. That
Mhm.
ain't LA Knight. LA Knight is very much a product of the WWE. He was properly cast by Vince McMahon as the manager of the Maximum Male Models. That was the best role for him. As this character, I could not explain to you heads or tails what this character is supposed to be other than a creator wrestler that you feed AI what Steve Austin and The Rock would say, and then it makes this like amorphous blob. And even when they give him the chance, he comes out there, he stumbles over his words. He's saying nonsense. Logan Paul eats his lunch while he's out there on the microphone, which is a thing that should never, ever happen. I devoured that Chris Van Vliet interview with MJF. And yes, I am going to be a homer about this. That's I can't help it. But when MJF said, you put me in there with anybody, and they're going to be scared to have to go toe-to-toe with me on the microphone.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I have seen him. I have seen those wheels in motion where we just spitball something and he's like, what if I do that? And it's like, it's perfect. It's just letter perfect. That's the guy you need in that particular role. LA Knight coming out there half-baked, not ready to go. And he just relies on the most cliched things to say is why I don't buy this dude. His in-ring work is serviceable. It's fine. I've said all along, dude's a mid-carder. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being that role, with being that guy, that position.
Right.
You're not like, dude, you're not going to be Tom Cruise in the late 90s. You're going to be Matt Dillon. And you have to be okay that you're going to be Matt Dillon.
And Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon had a fine career. Like, dude was nominated for an Oscar. Like, just stick with it. But you're not that. You're not the 1A tippy top guy. You're not the poster of WrestleMania guy. And that's okay. Not everybody can be that. But when you're trying to pretend to be that, it's so much more glaring.
And if you don't try to pretend to be that, like the fans and overall, I think an audience will appreciate you more because you are being a little bit more organic. This feels very, very manufactured, a lot of this stuff.
And he's literally, that we're saying this, and he's standing next to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Jey Uso's another dude. Jey Uso, I thought, had a shot. I go back to the archives a year ago, and I'm looking, and I'm going, you know what? He's doing this organically. Crowd's doing the yeets. There's a genuine passion when Jey Uso was talking. In ring wasn't really getting it done. That's not his fault.
Secondary, I think.
He's a dude who's been a tag wrestler for 400 years. It's a different muscle.
Sure.
It's a different type of cardio. It's a different type of ask. You're not putting together a singles match when you're in a tag team. So there are moments where you're having those beats. This was just a whole series of odd. I know that there was the potential that it was going to be LA Knight versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I know you're excited for that.
Here's where I think this is the pitch, and I don't like this pitch, but I'm going to make this pitch.
I'm ready. I want to hear it.
They have made a lot of this last few weeks that Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are trying to sign Obafemi.
Yes.
They're trying to sweeten the deal and offer him why you need to sign on this brand or this brand. At the same time, Paul Heyman is continuously pulling power plays with Adam Pearce. If it's, I will get you Brock Lesnar to face Obafemi, and Obafemi will then sign with Raw. In exchange, I want fill in the blank. It's kind of where I feel like this is going.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not against that.
Because it ain't going to be Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight. I mean, that would be... I would only want that if the cameras were running for WWE Unreal to film Brock Lesnar's reaction.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Is this an oblivious take on mine? That shirt that he was wearing, Unchosen, that was a take on the Unreal logo too, right?
Honestly, wasn't even paying enough attention. I just saw it and I was just like,
Unchosen, Unreal. I think because of what happened on that show, I think he was playing into that a little bit. Let's play into Raw a little bit more, Robert. What are some other big takeaways while we have a few minutes left? Yes.
Raw kind of stunk for a lot of it, if I'm honest.
I don't think it was as bad as last week, though. I'll say
it wasn't as bad as last week's, but I'm looking at it now. So I think it was just the whole first piece of this. The Usos with the Vision and the 6-man tag, the crate My boy Eli. I don't know who Eli is, but this dude signed him to a contract right now.
He's the next James Ellsworth, but with a bigger.
I thought he was. I almost was going to message Ellsworth, and I was like, that's probably not a dude I need to be in his DMs. That's going to be a problem.
Oh,
Nice enough guy, worked with him, but yeah, no. It's the lack of the chin. It's the mustache. It could be Jericho.
could it? It's got to be something Jericho brings. Jericho's not living in that crate for several weeks.
I don't know. Asuka, Bailey, Natty. We had said Maxine was probably going to get involved. Maxine got involved. Asuka beats Bailey. I really feel like we're building to this this tag match at Mania. All the tag teams, they got nothing else to do.
A Robert Carpenter special.
Asuka in the chamber. I'll have to tell you a funny story offline about that. But yeah, this Liv Morgan sit down with Michael Cole. I don't know how the ghost of David Lynch came back. I know he's passed. We love David Lynch. Miss him every day. All-time great director. David Lynch directed this, right?
I think so. Yeah.
This was the most bizarre. Like Michael Cole is like a girl on Sex in the City. He's all giggly at the beginning. Oh my God, I can't believe you're gonna have this shot. This is so great. And then they're talking, and then Stephanie Vaquer shows up and she's speaking in Spanish.
Yes.
And then Liv starts to cry.
And Dom's interpreting all this as it goes on.
What the hell was this?
I liked it. I liked it. It was that bizarre that I enjoyed it, Robert. And I was like, okay, you're selling me on this a little bit.
I was so baffled by all this. I just went, you know what? Like, where's the little person talking backwards like in Twin Peaks? Holy crap, Lou4237 literally just said, was there a backwards talking hornswoggle?
Shout out to that.
We've been doing the show too long that we're in a mind meld with the audience.
Really,
I'm sure. Let's see. After this, Punk promo where they're trying to make sense of this Finn Balor thing.
Yeah.
If they hadn't already announced the Roman of it all, this could have been an interesting little. Are we throwing a wrench in the plans here? Except you got Punk basically saying, "Hey, even when you qualify in the playoffs, you still got to play out the rest of the season." Yeah. That's not how sports work. Because when you qualify for the playoffs, you're not potentially going to lose your playoff spot.
And you can bench players at the same time.
You can bench players. Once you've qualified, you're in the playoffs.
Yes.
If this was a non-title match, if this was just a Finn, you don't deserve a title shot, but I'm going to give you an ass whooping, great. Solved.
My biggest takeaway from that was I've never seen a Memphis Chicago theme shirt before.
Sure.
Because he was wearing a Memphis CM Punk shirt and had the Chicago flag on the front of it.
Also, love that JD McDonough back. Happy to see that guy. Love JD McDonough.
Great head of hair, that guy. I tell you what.
Dude's the best. By the way, low-key, super funny guy.
I bet.
El Grande Americano versus Penta.
Mm-hmm.
The other El Grande Americano interferes. This was for the number one contendership for the Intercontinental title, which was great, except twice during this match, Corey Graves is bringing up that like Penta was poor on the streets fighting for food, and now he's fighting for the Intercontinental title.
Got to give some backstory.
He's the one dude that doesn't need backstory. Penta works. Scott and I used to say this all the time, working stiff in AEW. He should have been Mexican Undertaker.
Yes, I agree.
That like Dia de Muerte, like just super natural, creepy. He's got the look like that's where he's best. I don't want to know that he was poor on the streets because, by the way, that would mean Ray Phoenix would have also been poor on the street. You telling that story there? No, you're busy jobbing that dude out. Finn Balor's.
I love the second Grande Americano. Might be Ludwig Kaiser, but either way, just fantastic kind of work with it that he's doing as that character. So that was a big takeaway for me on Raw.
El Grande Americano, Los Americanos, the other El Grande Americano, all tremendous.
Yes.
The fact that they just will not let Pete Dunne be Pete Dunne is hilarious. Like, we're gonna make you Butch.
Butch.
He already has the weirdest looking little rat face.
Yes.
How you don't just run with that?
That's it.
I don't know. Finn Balor then demanding that he's going to challenge Punk on his own. I thought you're a heel now, dude. We're in AEW territory. Pick a lane. AJ Lee, that was a heel promo from AJ Lee. That was super heel. Trying to make the butterfly title seem important. I used to call it the tramp stamp title back when that was around.
Wow, I never considered that, but that's true.
And then the main event, highlight of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Evans, Dominic Mysterio, Gunther. Loved it.
Javon fitting in that role, huh? In the Elimination Chamber. I like it. I kind of like the pivot, but don't know how that makes Gunther feel like a big deal at the same time.
Well, so it was Gunther getting taken out by Dragon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would have to put Gunther in the chamber and beat him.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That is true.
And I fantasy booked that my fear of this was going to lead to a Gunther versus Randy Orton match. This may lead to Gunther versus Ray at Mania. That was the other thing we had floated out, that he's going to threaten to retire Ray. Then do you just let him?
That's the question, because like Ray kind of fits that bill too. Like he's wrestled everybody we've seen already, but I think there's always value in having Ray around at the same time too. So it's just like, would it be worth to retire Ray, and would Ray do that like at this point in time?
I don't know, though. It is interesting. Next week in Atlanta, the AJ Styles tribute.
Oh yes.
So probably something there.
Definitely something there.
You know, that was the difference. That was the thing why I said I was confident that AJ was going to go forward with this retirement, because unlike Cena, who was, I'm done, you're never going to see me again, there's no reason you can't still have AJ. He doesn't need to wrestle, but you can still have him be part of Angle advancement and get some money out of that guy going forward.
Yeah, absolutely you could in some form or capacity. So,
and Javon Evans in the chamber, getting that young guy spot. That was an Austin Theory spot at one point. Remember Brock like flung him off the top of the cage kind of thing?
Yeah, that was a Montez Ford spot too.
Love Montez Ford. Can we get that guy back on?
I know, right? Bring him back. I saw other pictures of him. He didn't look that bad. Definitely different, but didn't look that bad.
He's been eating good in the neighborhood.
Yes, he has. But
which ain't nothing wrong with that, by the way.
So overall, we saw some things, I guess, develop in unexpected manners. Is that fair to say?
There's nothing where you watch this and you're like, man, I'm really excited to see blank. That's very scary this close to WrestleMania.
That's a fair point.
It feels like there's a lot of, we're really trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. And it's where you're seeing the problem with WWE Unreal. You have seen too much. That was why I didn't like this in the first place. And that they were creating a show touting how long they plan things and how thought out everything is. And this just seems so haphazard, so bizarre. There is no, man, I can't wait to see blank. And the strangest part of this is this blasé attitude. AEW is poised to eat their lunch.
I mean, if they get their ducks lined up, I'm with you on that.
They're getting the ducks lined up. You got Hangman and MJF, Kenny and Swerve, Ospreay showing up down the road, Takeshita poised to break out, Kyle Fletcher poised to break out,
Moxley on the right track again. Maybe?
Moxley on the right track a little bit. Like it's kind of, I don't know, if they can put everything together, that could be kind of interesting to see at a point in time where we should be talking about barn burners going into WrestleMania. And right now, there's Punk and Roman. We'll see. What you will see is myself and Dominic D'Angelo back tomorrow, as we are every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on a plethora of platforms, including, if I remember how to post it properly, the WW Creative _ish X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube, on Studio One Sports and Podcast Heat. Dom, what an episode. What a run-in by the ghost of Kevin Green. So on behalf of the guy, if you didn't know he was Italian, check his hat, Dominic D'Angelo. I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
It's a me, let's play some of the baseball.
Shh.